Guatemalanness.
The sound of breaking glass fills the hallway from around the bend, from where I believe it is currently Ashley, Dr. Sharp, Persephone. I believe Dr. Templeton is there as well. And Miss Adams are all currently gathered, having been dealing with various instabilities, we could say, throughout the labs here. In addition to the flooding that was caused by one of the green doors opening onto an event taking place on Lake Superior.
Event.
That door was closed, and somebody remembered the emergency purge pumps. The wet surfaces began to take on the reflective nature, and began to essentially be liquid mirrors that began climbing up the walls, causing reflections upon reflections, which were beginning to have some certain effects. There was also that little problem of Dr. Templeton occasionally getting caught in a loop. There's also been some problems with Persephone remembering things out of sequence. Persephone is struggling to remember the proper order in which things have happened. But it's with this sound of breaking glass that, I'll let you lead, Chad, as Dr. K approaches this scene, dealing with the situation.
I think the imagery we see is that inside this office space that all of them have somehow clustered themselves into, I imagine it's like a double door sequence. So he busts open the doors, very much how Dr. Gregory House would, with his cane and all of that, just aggressively angry at this point. And the first person he lays eyes on isn't necessarily who you think, because I think you would think that it would be Ashley Raven, given the conversation they had recently.
And that she is the boss of this operation.
And that she is the boss of this operation. But no.
I'll have you remind, yeah.
His eyes immediately dart to Devin. What in the Sam hell did you do?
Dr. Kubrick, welcome.
No. Don't give me that shit. Now you listen to me. Okay? I just spent... I went out and I saw cats and I saw all of this liquid, which, by the way, did any of you see it? It's not a liquid. That is an organism. So you're going to tell me, Devin, that you don't know how a door from your department got open. And 2, you don't know what that substance is in our labs? I call bullshit on you, sir. So, you want to start answering? Or do I have to start pulling out the questions for you? Because I will.
Devin very calmly walks over to Orson and straightens his shirt, tie, lab coat. You are distraught, Orson. Clearly, things have gotten out of control around here, under the guidance of our director, I might add.
So you hold on, wait. So you think that it's her fault that this is happening? You think it's her fault? Oh, that's fine.
Remind me, Orson, how is it that these doors open? Isn't there a control panel full of switches in the computer room? The computer room that you are put in charge of, I might add.
Yes, sure. Absolutely. You are correct on that. However, I can tell you with absolute certainty that me and my crew were taking care of protocols that, by the way, this morning you set into effect. Because I don't know who is it. Who was it? Oh yeah, there was a lovely little lady that passed through the halls earlier today. Her name was Ava, I believe. I looked over some of the paperwork that she had in her hands, and it looks like you're the one that signed off on the expected iterations. So you're the one that's going to now ask me to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iterations upcoming? You were spreading me thin, Devin.
You said you could do the work, Orson.
Okay.
If you have found that the job is too monumental for you to undertake, I am certain that California would like to understand that. And
listen here.
We can take this off of your plate.
Oh, I could take a whole lot off of yours right now if you'd like.
I turn to Orson at that point, and I kind of like put my hand on his chest, and I would just say, gentlemen, this is getting to be a little bit personal. I think we should all just take a step back from this. How we got here doesn't matter. We can't go back and fix whatever caused this. All we can do is go forward.
He gently puts a hand to your hand. You can feel that his hand is shaking.
Oh yeah.
Ashley, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Calmer heads do prevail, and I appreciate that. Now, would you like me to give you the science of what is happening now, so that you all can understand the absolute, a friend of mine once said, the absolute fuckery that we are going to be arriving in? Because I gotta tell you, right now this place sucks.
So I think that would be a great time for Darla to come quite disheveled, rounding the corner. I know. How about shit show of my investment?
Darla, I don't think that's fair. Things happen.
Really? She just gestures around at all of the chaos.
Two cats immediately run through the scene, one chasing the other.
Darla, things happen in every operation that can't be predicted and can't be controlled. We're fixing it. We're on the case. You just so happen to be here today when everything is going belly up. We're on it. We'll fix this.
I pray that you do. I don't think you will like the consequences of failure.
Oh, don't lord your money over.
Oh, I'm not talking about money, dear child. And there's just a hint of a growl in the back of her throat.
I think it's worth noting that Darla and Ashley are basically the same age. So that's extra biting that dear child.
Condescending. Darla, oh my god. Ashley is like biting the inside of her cheeks and like just keeping her mouth shut. And you're like, we're taking
Ashley,
care of it.
make a grit check.
Oh, good. What's my minus there, God?
2.
Okay. Well, joke's on you, because I rolled a 2. That's a 0. That was my D20, by the way.
Whatever.
Do I lose control?
Whatever you are thinking in this moment of saying.
Oh no. It slips out.
What is the first thought that came to your mind, or rather to Ashley's mind in this moment?
My first thought is, don't lord your money over me, you bitch. I am the boss here, and I'm taking care of this.
For a moment,
Exactly.
Ashley, you see almost like you're on the verge of passing out. You see this sort of your vision irises into a pinpoint, and are you familiar with that movie Being John Malkovich? Where when they go through this tunnel in this building, they end up in John Malkovich's head, and at a certain point they start to get pulled away and the view sort of recedes. This is your view. You're suddenly pulled far back in your own vision, and you hear your voice coming out of yourself, and everybody else sees as Ashley Raven suddenly puts her hand on your chest, Darla, and with barely any effort pushes you against the wall.
Oh.
And says, "Mind your purse strings, or I will strangle you with them." And then lets go of you, and Ashley, you're suddenly back.
And I think my hand is still like raised and like, and I would like look around and be like, what are we all looking at?
You dare threaten me?
Did I?
You realize
Oh God,
you've
fucking
moved
Devin is just
forward
loving this. He's just loving this. I'm
you
sorry.
realize like you're a step forward. You're a step, forward.
Yeah.
We've moved against the wall.
Yeah.
And like my feet have shifted, and you can see like that there's a change in Darla's posture.
Okay.
Like almost as if like she's hunching forward and bringing her head closer to yours. You can see that like she is thinking quickly, and you get the sense that that there's something going on, and she steps aside and blocks or breaks face-to-face contact. And I don't know exactly how the scene is positioned, but whoever would be like to the side like sees just a moment of fury cross her face before she again gains control. But it seems like it took effort to actually do so. Ashley doesn't see that, but whoever would be off to her right, I would say.
I think Ashley, even if she did see it, she's still like reeling in her own head, like what just happened.
Right.
Did I threaten her? I think I did, but did I really? Was that really me? That she's thinking too much to notice any idiosyncrasies of yours right now. You
all hear very subtly as this is happening. You hear this sort of, and Miss Adams has her radio and has stepped back for a second, and she suddenly, Miss Adams steps forward, almost hesitantly, but kind of steps next to you, Ashley, and says, "Director Raven, I'm
Yes.
told that Dr. Jobs has a delivery for you in your office. A project you had requested is ready."
Thank you. Very good. I think I'm gonna go check on that now. Orson, can I trust you to take care of? And Ashley does just kind of gesture around and go, "This."
Take care of it. One more.
And I put my hand on your shoulder, and I give you like a little squeeze, like I give you a reassuring nod, and I say, I trust you implicitly. Everyone, follow Dr. Orson Kubrick's lead on this. I have to go take care of some business. If anything is of urgent importance, you can call me. Otherwise, I'd appreciate... And she checks her watch and she says, probably about an hour so that I can focus on what I'm doing. Thank you all for your very good work. And I give Darla kind of a dirty look as I walk past her towards my office.
Miss Adams.
And as you walk away, Darla will absolutely stare daggers, and you see like there's a moment where like it's probably only the slightest twitch in her hip as like she's ready to just take a step and follow you. Finish this, away from everywhere else.
Finish this like women.
But she restrains herself, and those that decide to look at her face, you see you see the mask, and then she turns to Dr. K. Well, since Director Raven was unable to apprise me of everything that's going on with this, would you be able to get me up to speed, please?
Of course. How do I explain this to you? All right, I'm gonna try. Let's see. So, the water that we thought was flooding, not water. It is some form of it's mirror-like, almost like a mercury, but it seems to have organic, almost sentience, because I literally watched it pour back down the drain like a slug seeping back down to hide.
If it's sentient, have there been any attempts to garner any form of communication with it?
Not that I know of, but I can certainly prepare something. We can try something. I don't know. And you see as they're talking, you watch like he subtly rolls his sleeve up, and like anyone around him in the general vicinity will see just a regular watch, but he rolls his sleeve up just a little bit more, and like there's a secondary watch behind it that he's covering with the back of his hand and like looking at that secondary watch, and then like closes it back up. So outside of the liquid, we also had a numerous amount of cats filling the hallways, which I can only predict where that came from. But it seems that they have left the vicinity. I thought that maybe they might be an escaped Persephone project, but that does not seem like it. And he looks over to Persephone. Not something in your purview, I imagine? Nope. Okay.
Well, I can't imagine the cats are a larger problem than a sentient mercury.
Right. There's also countless destabilizations, because clearly that door should not have been opened at all. So something is happening. What you saw in the office, that is a mere fraction of what could be happening, because this guy, as he points to Devin, keeps pulling me thinner and thinner. He is asking for our systems to do more than they physically can. I don't care how many computers that you pay for. It does not matter how many servers I get to put in that room. Eventually, either they will overheat or they will overclock, and I cannot do it. There is not enough time.
Science is sound.
Can I say
All
one
of the
thing real quick
calculation.
as an interjection?
Triple check.
One thing, Dr. Kubrick, I think that maybe Ashley Raven has talked to you about is, as you have kind of risen through the ranks here at the Nexus Project, she has talked about making you like an assistant director or like some higher position than you currently have. And so this semi-leadership position she has just charged you with is almost like her extending a tryout to you. So
Gotcha.
this is like pretty the way you conduct yourself in the next couple hours is going to matter.
He looks to Devin. You are correct, Dr. Sharp. You are correct. The science is sound. However, as I was saying, when you are giving the amount of information to a computer, when you are giving the amount of information to a computer, there is only a certain amount of information that can be processed at a time. You are asking for a ticker tape to be processed out at 5 iterations. The system's not holding. I don't know how to tell you that anymore.
The practical and the planned do not always match up. Now, I am not one to understand all of the science that you do, Dr. K, but you are far more the expert. And I would lean towards what you would say.
As you say, I would lean towards what you say. Darla, your foot slips 18 inches into the floor. As the floor beneath one of your feet becomes temporarily insubstantial.
So I would like try to reach out and like grab the wall or something to, pull myself back up.
Make a grit check.
Do I got to make a check to keep my feet, or do I just, fall over?
Make a grit check.
Grit check. Oh, crap. Let's quickly pull myself back up because I didn't have my character sheet open. I apologize.
Hey, while Ted looks for his character sheet, check us out on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great t-shirts like the one I'm wearing. And we can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, mugs, stickers, postcards, pillows, and all kinds of other amazing stuff. That logo over there that Jeremy is wearing too is on redbubble.com. Redbubble is always kind of having cool sales. I don't know if there's any on right now, but there might be. So check us out at redbubble.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
All right, so that's an 11.
Not only has your leg slipped through, your other foot is slowly sinking as if you were sinking into quicksand. You failed your grit check and you are slowly phasing through the floor.
Oh.
And then right there is why we don't do those things. I can fix it.
How do I fix this, Dr. K?
Somebody help her.
I can fix it. Okay.
Help!
All right. And he's going to I'm going to try and see if I can somehow stabilize this room, Jake. If I can somehow just stabilize Persephone's office, specifically the office itself. Just kind of hold it in time.
Okay.
And rewrite it so that it is
How are you going to do that?
pristine. I'd like to use my power, but like as subvertive as possible, as subtle as I possibly can, so that the rest of them don't see it as something.
In what way do you want to use your power? What exactly are you going to attempt to do?
Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to put one hand on. I'd like to reach a hand out to Darla to hold her hand, and then I'd like to take my cane and then tap that against the open hole in the floor, and then I'm gonna
not even a hole. It's just it's like a bad 80s 90s effect where it just looks like they're they're morphing through.
It's clipping the.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Is there at least a level below the one we're on? So
the existence
if it fails,
of
at least just go to the next floor.
The existence of the stairwell that you were in previously implies that yes, there are multiple levels here.
Well, Yeah, but I didn't know if we were on the lowest level.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Probably only one or two of you in this group knows for sure whether or not you're on the lowest level, or for that matter, knows how many levels there are.
Do I know how many levels there are?
You think you do?
Okay.
I would like Dr. K to go ahead and it sounds to me, because you're manipulating time, almost like you're trying to reverse time a little bit. Do I have that right?
Yeah, or stop the deterioration from happening any further, so I can lift her up out of that space and then hopefully clear it up.
Okay. I'm going to. You're gonna roll d6s.
That's fine.
For your use of your power, and I'm gonna say that this is something you haven't really done before. You are not so much attempting to manipulate time as you are attempting to manipulate space.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna be a little higher DC 24.
That's
Persephone, I'm gonna need you to make a grit check during all of this.
Grit's my D4. That's a 2.
Persephone, please roll me a D12.
Oh. That's an unusual one. That's a 1.
Okay. Oak, how's it going? I mean, Oak, Dr. K.
Yeah. How many? Just however many I need to roll. I need to try.
Yeah,
to
I mean, it's up to you. You know, you get
get
1 free, and you get a total of 7 additional.
Okay. Well, there's a 5 to start. Another 5.
So you're at 10 on, well, technically 1 because of the freebie.
11. So 11.
11 on 2.
15
on 3.
Ooh, there's a 6. So that'll be
21 on 4.
21 on 4, but that explodes. Ooh, that's another 6.
Ooh, let's go, dude.
So that puts you at 27 on 4, and you've beat the DC.
Yep. 27 on.
Way to be, bro.
Yep.
So go ahead. There's a couple things that are going to be happening in this exact moment. As Oak, you are Dr. K. Is that technically a name
I'm
mix up?
Dr.
Because
K,
he's the same
so-
person.
yes.
It's
I think so.
Same person. So
He's the
you
same
literally-
person. Dr. K, you are successful in stabilizing the phase shifting happening around Darla. So you go ahead and describe that, and then I'm going to describe what Persephone's psychic flare-up is.
Okay, cool. So as Darla's kind of phasing through the floor there, Orson will grab Darla's hand, pull her up to an upright position, and I imagine like she actually helps more so than him because of her wolf-like capabilities. He's like giving her a hand up, but then it realizes, oh, like there's more strength there than I don't need to carry the brunt of the weight. But then as he's doing it, he's taking his cane and then like tapping around the edge of the tapping the floor, and then as he taps the floor, the phasing on the floor smooths back over to a clean slate as if it doesn't, as if nothing happened.
So, what is your immediate surface thought? And I'm asking this to Dr. K, Darla, Dr. Sharp, Persephone, I'll handle Dr. Templeton. Miss Adams went with Director Raven, so it's not there. The reason I want to know what your immediate surface thought is during these moments is because Persephone, you suddenly grab your head as a sharp stabbing pain goes through your entire brain, and involuntarily you have a telepathic overload and you broadcast everybody in the immediate vicinity's surface thoughts. So whatever this surface thought is that you are having, everybody in this vicinity can hear it in their own head.
Including my own?
Including your own, and so both your surface thought and your yeah.
I'll start. So all of this happened very fast, and Darla's starting to phase through the floor. Devin's making snide remarks. What is it? Persephone says, "Somebody help her!" And the stabbing pain shoots through her head. And there's a flash, and we see a blonde woman with her hair disheveled carrying a tiny child, like a baby, running through the halls of the Nexus lab. She's sobbing, "Somebody help her!" She's trying to get Rosie out of the labs.
Oh.
Quick, who's next? Surface thoughts. What does everybody hear?
So Darla, as Dr. K is trying to get her out of the floor, the only thought, going through her head is, this shit better get fixed quick, or there's going to be some serious consequences.
Sharp.
I think, yeah, Devon's is, if only I was in charge, things would not be going like this. I will be making some changes soon.
Dr. K.
And then I think Dr. K is it's bleeding more and more every day. Can't keep up with this. I gotta figure something out now. And I think he stops himself when he realizes that it's broadcast. Right? Like he gets maybe a partial way through that.
You can't stop it. It's a
right?
thought.
Yeah.
It's involuntary. It's not like you're stopping yourself from speaking.
Yeah. So he's thinking this thought. He goes, it's bleeding more and more every day. I feel like every time I patch a hole up, another one opens up, and it's more and more and more and more. Green doors, brass handles. Green doors, brass handles. All I want to do is see my friends.
Dr. Templeton, his thought that emerges into everybody's mind is, wow, this is one hell of a first day. Wow, this is one hell of a first day. Wait, did I just say that?
God,
Why does that keep happening? I need to see a doctor. Not one of these quacks, though.
These fuckers don't know what they're talking about.
Very faintly, somewhere quite a ways down a hall, Ashley, whatever you are immediately thinking, you say out loud as you're walking with Miss Adams.
Yeah. So what I am saying out loud is, yeah, go ahead and try to push me around again. See how that'll go. Fucking how it went the first time. See how that'll go. And she's just kind of, it's like that thought again and again and again and again, and kind of like more rage filled almost every time she's spiraling a little bit.
Simultaneously, Miss Adams walking along blurts out, well, hopefully nobody knows where I've hidden it. And she immediately goes,
Do I hear that?
I think in this instance, it's a case of the two of you blurt these things out, and you're so shocked that they happen simultaneously that I don't know if you, I mean, you maybe heard it, but you also heard what you blurted out.
Okay.
I'm not telling you
Can
didn't
we turn
hear
to each other in a comical fashion and go, "What did you say?" in unison?
I just imagine not even what did you say, just immediately turning to each other and going, "What?
What? Yeah, exactly.
What? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Oh, good.
I actually do need everybody except for Ashley and Miss Adams to make a grit check DC 10.
Ooh.
Also, Dr. K, any brain-related, mental-related stats for the next little bit will be at a -1 for you. Because you use 4 dice, your head is spinning, and you're finding it difficult to concentrate. Is that 6 your grit check? Ted, I need
exploded, but
Ted, I need a grit check for
grit.
Yeah.
I genuinely forgot what my grit die was, so I'm going to look it up real quick.
All right, I'm dealing with the positive and negative moon right now, right?
Correct.
7.
Okay. Sharp.
So I got a 9, and I think I might spend a domain pop.
Yeah.
Roll it to a 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I know what the DC is.
Bingo. Okay.
Oh, nicely done.
Okay.
Wait,
I wasn't gonna do it.
we're not even an hour into the game and you got a bingo?
Listen. Okay.
I'm not doubting it. I just think it's
I got
incredible.
Dr. K explains something like he's talking to a 5-year-old. Ashley lords her power over something. Free space. Pop chomped, and Dr. K comes up with something brilliant. I assume saving what's her face is something brilliant.
Yeah. So everybody else failed. So Dr. K, you are at a -2. Darla, Persephone, you are at -1. Or I'm just going to say for the rest of the session, unless something changes that. But as a result of this psychic overload, from Persephone, how are you reacting
Is that
to
a
that?
-1 to like brain checks or like all checks?
Sorry, this is for brain related checks.
Okay. Go on.
How in the aftermath of this having just happened, how are you reacting to that?
Oh, what is it? Persephone realizes that everybody's thoughts were out there for just a moment, but she also realizes hers was. And the thing is, she didn't remember that. That's what is it? That is a memory that she must have repressed for herself. But suddenly she remembers. She had a child. They took her child. And then she feels the rage. There's a rage that bubbles up inside of her, and her mind continues to flash images. Like her memories were a deck of cards that you just picked, like you just opened a brand new pack, and somebody went,
oh,
and they're everywhere. She remembers a young boy giving her a t-shirt and sweatpants to wear instead of a white nightgown. Why was she in a white nightgown? She remembers Algernon. She remembers pushing him out of some young boy's head. She remembers being trapped in a tank. She was inside a tank full of blue light. And she saw her daughter for the first time. And the anguish that she felt when that happened, and how she had to drive her away. She remembers that group of kids and how they betrayed her. She remembers the poker just before everything went dark. She looks up. She doesn't see Ashley, but she sees Orson. And she remembers that she was able to control all of them for a brief time. She wasn't able to control him. And she points to him and she says, "This is your fault."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You had to repeat that. My fault. As far as I'm concerned,
You
I've been...
broke time.
Oh well, now I feel
You
like that
broke
might...
time. You pushed me out. You turned all of the children against me.
You have done
Persephone,
that yourself. Sorry.
That's not fair to put on me. That's not...
What children is she speaking of, Orson?
I should have killed your little friend, already missing a hand.
Oh, so this is where we are now. Okay then. All right. I didn't.
Oh my god!
I didn't want to deal with it this way, but I guess.
And she is going to grip your mind like a vice grip.
Oh. Oh god.
And Jacob's rolling dice. I don't know what's happening
Those two
here.
numbers
So-
are close to each
so
other.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No.
the what you were doing. So I
Holy
did my
shit,
own
holy
D100
shit.
roll. As you are giving this intensity to Dr. K, a fireplace poker materializes in your hand.
My hand?
No,
Oh,
Persephone.
okay. Oh, Persephone's. Okay.
My god. Dude.
But this fireplace
Okay.
poker materializes pixel by pixel. It is basically the pixels glow that sort of electronic blue as it sort of digitally, and you are holding, as you are gripping Dr. K's mind to do whatever the hell it is you're about to do. You are also holding a fireplace poker.
You materialize.
We both have fireplace pokers?
No, he
I-
doesn't.
You have one.
You
I don't.
have
it.
I don't. You have one.
He doesn't.
But you
You do.
materialized it from an like. I think in this moment, Orison is realizing that not only is like the whole building like destabilizing in numerous ways that he did not foresee, but now the concept of materializing iteration objects within the reality space is becoming like an actual thing that he did not predict or foresee, and then that is now something that is drastically more dangerous
So-
than anything else in this room.
And as
So
that
he is
thought,
like-
as that thought comes to your mind, Persephone
Mhm.
did say she was reaching out and gripping your mind. So I want to know what it is you were doing or attempting to do, Persephone.
Well, Persephone is both an empath and I believe also a telekinetic. She is literally trying to squeeze his gray matter like a enormous grapefruit.
Interesting. Okay, so you're at a -1 for mental
scanners.
powers. I gotta say, this is gonna be, unless you make a case for something else, this very much feels like it's brains versus brains.
Oh, well,
But now hold on a minute.
Oh,
There are
dear.
'Cause
pops.
I don't have. I was gonna say I don't have your stats, but I do because I gave you all your
D6.
stats.
Do it.
Hold on,
Kill
hold
him.
on. Hold on, I
I
gotta
like
look.
the fact that everyone wants to gang up on me now. It's like I started out hot, and now everybody's like, "No, let's kill the Orison. Let's
Well,
make him."
my brains check was a 3, so with my -1,
No,
I believe
sorry.
that would be a 2.
No. This is not a brains check.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got all excited.
This is a brains check for, or not even for Dr. K. Even though this is happening on a mental level, I want to do a fight versus
her powers, right?
I want to do a fight versus Braun.
Oh, I prefer a fight. My fight should be 20.
I prefer
geez.
a fight. That's the next MTD t-shirt.
Jesus, I prefer a fight. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just get swamped right now. That's cool.
Yes.
All right.
Give him.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna. I'll take the risk. It's fine.
It's okay. Don't be afraid. My fight was a 9, so that's an 8.
Oh, interesting. Because
Spend 2 pops to make that a 10. That's
you know what?
Or see.
I'm gonna spend some pops because
I'm really not out to kill. Dr.
I also.
Fine.
No,
Nerd.
look, I spent some pops. I'm gonna spend some pops because the only way that I'm gonna beat you is by spending pops. I got a 9 on the die, so I have to bump up. So I'm gonna spend like.
Wait.
I got a 9 on the die.
Miko got an 8.
Miko got an 8 because of
but
her
I have a
minus.
negative. I have a negative
As
2
do
to
I.
every roll.
Oh, because that puts you at a 7. No.
Yeah, that would put me at a 7. So
he's at a 7.
So I would need to spend at least a pop to tie, and I need to spend at least 2 to get over.
Is this
So
a
I'll
meter
spend-
beat, Jake? Or is it?
I'm gonna
degrees?
let Chad determine if you're gonna go 1 or 2.
I'll go 2. I'll go 2. That way I can go over.
So as this, there's a couple things that are going to happen here, and you're going to hate me for it, but I'm going to switch scenes as soon as I tell you. You're not going to have time to react.
Yes.
No, that's great. I love you for that. Please
So-
do, because that's going to take me a minute to process.
So there's this struggle that, I mean, however Darla and Sharp are reacting to the fact that Persephone has just turned aggressive and has just manifested a fireplace poker in her hand, on top of the fact that Dr. K just saved Darla from phasing through the floor, and everything else that's been going on. You just see this intensity between Persephone and Dr. K, and you see both of them. You see a trickle of blood coming down their nose and from their ears as their muscles are taut, and they are fighting against each other. And in that moment, one additional memory, like that deck that you 52 pick up splayed out into the air, there's one card that's sort of fluttering down, and that memory suddenly flares forward or to the forefront of your mind, and it's just a flash. For just a moment, you see an amorphous purple shape coursing with energy, surrounded by crystals, a portal in time and space, and through it you see the gleaming neon Chrome City.
Oh.
With that, we are going to cut to Ashley.
Oh my god.
You and Miss Adams have arrived at your office, where there is a young man in his 20s, early 20s. It looks like he might actually be 20. And
Okay, wow, a baby.
he's got that sort of 70s kind of mop of hair, and he's wearing a lab coat, and you see his ID badge around his neck that says S Jobs, and he's holding a package for you. It's a he has a covered container, and he sort of, as you show up, he's leaning against the wall, and he kind of pushes off, and he goes, "Oh, Director Adams, I got something for you, and I think you're gonna like this."
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, he said Director
Oh,
Raven.
Oh, okay, perfect. I would shake his hand and I'd be like, "Hello, welcome. Why don't you come into my office and we can talk?" And Ashley would open the door to her office and invite him in.
Wow, this place is so much different than the labs in California. What's with all the
In what
green
way?
doors? You never know what's behind one of these doors.
Yes, the uniformity was a stylistic choice. Anyway, what did you bring?
You tasked us with creating this this device. I know you only wanted you were asking for a couple of key features, but I kind of took the liberty of adding a couple other little additional things. Some tech that I was working out in California, and he uncovers this, and you see that he's holding a about 3-inch by 7-inch metal and glass rectangle. It has a highly reflective surface on the glass. It's only about 1/4 of an inch thick. And he says, "This is called an icon device."
Huh.
Well, that's what I'm calling it anyway. Small I, big C.
Oh,
So-
branding, yes.
It's got the 4 main things that you wanted. And he kind of shows you, he says, "Here, you power it on this way with this button here." And as it powers on, you see a white double cherry icon appear. And then it shows a screen that seems to be lit from within, much higher resolution than any of the CRT monitors you've seen on anything, any computers in the lab. And you see that there are 12 icons on the screen. And he says, "Okay, this one here has the first thing you asked for, anomaly tracking. You can detect and triangulate temporal and dimensional anomalies. It'll also alert you to shifts or rifts in space-time." That I added that little bit. This one here is a psychic inhibitor. This one is going to allow you to emit a frequency that will suppress nearby psychic abilities, giving you, and you only as the holder, temporary immunity from mental intrusions. This was the easiest one. I knocked that one out in the first 20 minutes. This is just video playback. It'll allow you to access the video archives from the reel-to-reels anywhere on the servers. And then this is the last one you asked for, the quantum scanner. You can scan nearby objects and life forms for their quantum signatures, which is going to tell you if they're from this timeline or reality, or from their quantum signature doesn't match our reality. I've also added a temporal echo recorder, a reality anchor, a distortion field, a ley line locator, spectrum filter, memory extraction, portal key, and an iteration counter.
Wow.
You can probably figure out what those do. There's nothing that's really particularly dangerous in and of itself. Per your request, it was all it's all based on your biometric signature, and is designed to protect you as the user. So unless there's somebody out there that can somehow manipulate electronics telepathically, I think you're fine.
They'd have to pry it out of my cold, unconscious hands. Well, this is really something. It's so small. It's remarkable.
Well, to use them, and he kind of reaches over, you know, that classics, you're trying to show your parents how to use their new smartphone. And like, if you just push the anomaly tracker here, and he presses it, and you see it kind of, the screen changes, and it kind of, even though it's high resolution, high tech, it actually looks like almost like the trackers in Alien, the motion trackers.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he goes, and you see immediately as it sort of pulses, you see, he goes, all right, so this dot here is going to be me, and he kind of walks over to the other side of the room, and you see the dot moves with him. Wow. And it's this sort of green icon, and he goes, so then the other two icons, the other two green icons should be you and Miss Adams here. And Ashley, as you look at your screen, you see his green icon. Looks like a little triangle, very video gamey, whatever direction he's facing, it's pointing.
Asteroids?
Yeah, whatever direction he's facing, it's pointing. You see yours and Miss Adams' green triangles, but you see two more triangles that they seem to almost be, as you shift your position, almost like a ghost image, a red triangle moves with you. And the same thing with Miss Adams. You're actually seeing a total of 5 triangles.
Dr. Jobs, what are these? And I would point out the ghosty extra triangles.
Well, no, those are the triangles. I said this is you and this is Miss. Wait a minute.
I'm sure this is just a glitch in the system.
Miss Adams, can you take a few steps that way? And as
Meanwhile, Ashley is just like playing with the touch screen and is just dazzled by this
as
technology.
she moves the triangle, that ghost of the triangle moves, and he goes, well, this has been thoroughly tested, and I am 100% confident that this is not, there's nothing wrong with the hardware or the software. I mean, maybe there's things I'm not supposed to know, and I get that. I'm new. I'm low level, so I didn't see anything. I don't know anything about whether or not you have our anomaly. You know what? I'm due down in the labs. I've got something for Dr. Sharp I got to work on. So
I would hold my hand out, like, to shake his hand.
So he just kind of gives you a salute, and he turns to leave the room. He's like, nice meeting you, Director Raven.
I shut the door. Okay, so I imagine the door to the office was left open.
Yeah.
And I imagine as he's turning, the door seemingly shuts on its own. And if you look, it's like that scene from Carrie. Like, there's like a shing, like looking in Ashley's eyes, and it just goes wham and shuts. And just...
Miss Adams startles.
Ashley just looks at him and says,
Her?
You are, of course, free to walk back down to the labs, but...
Oh, wait, you're closing the door before he leaves?
Yes, I
Oh.
am. You are, of course, free to go back down to the labs, but I think it's important that I'm very clear that what you've given me here is top secret. As proud as you are, and should be, of this technology, it stays between us.
I need a grit check.
Oh, what's my minus?
It's going to be -2.
6. No.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you roll I'm gonna have you roll a d100.
Great.
I'm gonna roll a d100. Oops, that's a d20.
That's not the right one. I got a 17. Ooh.
Now, I'm gonna have you make what is probably gonna be one of your most important rolls tonight. There will be no minus applied to this.
Oh.
I'm gonna have you roll any die of your choosing.
Okay.
It's an odd or an even. Odd is Dr. Jobs. Even is Miss Adams.
Oh, God. Doesn't matter. Odd. Thanks for giving me the illusion of choice, by the way, with your frickin' choose any die you want.
I mean,
If you roll a number, you lose.
well, since you put it that way, Ashley, your vision tunnels again.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Oh.
And for a moment, we hear indistinguished sounds as we stay with you in that sort of muffled state, this sort of pinpoint of light. And then you come rushing to the forefront. And the words are coming out of your mouth just as you sort of regain control of yourself, as you are turned and looking at Miss Adams, and you say, "Send someone to clean this mess." And you look over, well, first off, Miss Adams, the whole side of her face, her white blouse, everything is just coated in blood. And her look is very wide-eyed, but not moving, completely frozen. And when you look back over, you are holding Steve Jobs' head in your hands. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was clearly...
So many people aren't going to get rich on stocks now.
Oh my God.
Ashley Raven changing the future.
Microsoft's gonna make a killing.
So
Yeah,
for what it's worth,
I get off the phone with the real Mr. Jones and be like, "You're welcome. It's done." Click.
for what it's worth, in 1975, Steve Jobs was 20 years old.
Was.
So
All of a sudden, everybody's devices in the future now have oranges on the back of them.
no, they have cherries. They're all Icon devices.
Oh,
Watermelon.
cherries. There you go.
Yep.
But they're all controlled by the
Icon.
Nexus project.
Oh.
Oh yeah, cherries.
Yeah, that's why there were cherries when
That's
she
why.
booted up the device.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. We'll see you on the other side. And we're back. But before we get into the game proper, I'm going to do another promo for, well, I say another. If you're watching this on VOD, you didn't see the other promo. So this is the first and only promo. We are proud to announce that HiveMind Labs has released their first game on Steam. HiveMind Labs is a video game company that is co-founded by my son Zach and his friends, and they have released their first game on Steam called Where's That Clown? Perfect timing, as the trailer for it is playing right now. Where's That Clown is a frantic top-down arcade game where you must keep impatient kids entertained throughout chaotic birthday party venues, dash around dodging toddlers and parents as you try to get the highest score. The game is a lot of fun as you run around to the various toy boxes to find the various entertainment things, such as a horn, balloon animals, juggling bowling pins, pie in the face, all that kind of stuff. And you got to deliver it to the kids as quickly as possible before time runs out. You get points the quicker you deliver them. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of toddlers running around like toddlers do, trying to knock that stuff out of your hand, or just doing it. They're not trying to, they just do it. And then there's some grumpy parents, because what kid's birthday party would be complete without the grumpy parents stomping around. If they knock your stuff out of your hand, it gets sent all the way back to the toy box. You can go to right now. You can go to Timmy's or you can go to Abby's. 2 different venues, and you just try to beat your high score. You can unlock a couple power-ups, and though it may say on Steam that it is not controller supported, I can confirm that it is controller supported. Or you can play with your keyboard and mouse. But check it out. There's a link in the chat, and I'll try to remember to put a link on the information bar for the game, for this particular game on YouTube. But you can see it right there. Where's That Clown? Look for it on Steam. Download it. It's free. With that, let's get back into some chaos that is happening here. And I'm gonna reach over here and I'm gonna turn up the intensity dial just a little bit. During the break, I had Jeremy roll on the quantum destabilization event table. So as we come back into the scene in the aftermath of the brain versus brain standoff between Dr. K and Persephone, Dr. Sharp, you are going to be the nexus point, if you will, for this destabilization event. You rolled a 15, which is a bioflux pulse. I need you to make a brawn check. This is going to determine the severity of what happens.
Ooh. Not one of Devin's greater stats. And I rolled a 1.
Yay!
This is not going to be good for you, but it could be bad for others around you. I'm going to give you narrative control, as my description allows for some leeway here. Temporary mutations or energy discharges from your body. It is not necessarily fatal, but it is a very bad day for Dr. Sharp.
Interesting. Read it one more time again.
It is called a bioflux pulse, causing temporary mutations or energy discharges from a body.
Okay.
Or both.
Interesting.
Like shooting lightning out his dick?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, let it be that.
No, a new one though.
a new dick?
A new dick? Yeah, that was my first question.
2 of them.
Yes.
All 10
Dual
fingers.
wield. I think they call that dual wielding. You're welcome, everyone.
Think I'm gonna have. Okay. All of a sudden, like mirror-like liquid, like mercury, like the stuff that we were just dealing with in the hallways, begins like seeping out of his pores and like pouring out of like his ears, the corners of his eyes, his nose, just leaking out of him. And he's kind of like reaches up and kind of like dabs with this, monogrammed handkerchief at first, and then realizes that it's not sweat, blood, tears. It's this silvery liquid that is just oozing out of his body.
Darla, Persephone. Oh, Dr. K, you all see this.
What is happening to you?
I'm not sure.
Well, does that look like what was on the floor earlier?
Yes, I think it
Yeah,
does.
so
but
you're
that doesn't make
probably
any sense. Why
infected with
is it-
some sort of parasite now. Because if it is a living organism, it's in you now. Devin.
Oh God.
Persephone,
So-
you are some kind of medical professional, are you not?
You don't have to take that, you know.
She
You
breaks
are-
eye contact with Dr. K
Mhm.
long enough to slowly turn and look at you. And the poker levitates out of her hand.
Is there something you can do about this?
It's gonna swing at you.
Something I can do about this?
Kill him.
Make a
Persephone.
I
fight.
finally read the chart right, and I
Yeah.
apparently don't like you very much.
Persephone, please.
I don't think
Make
anybody
a fight check. And Sharp, I give you some symptoms in the
Oh, come on.
chat. You are going to be making a brawn check, and you are going to be at a -2 deficit.
10 minus 1 is a 9.
I roll 3. -2 is a 1 again.
Oh God. Kill him. Do it.
Well, she's not. What is it? The poker is swinging. It's not
Oh,
stabbing.
you're going for bludgeoning,
Oh.
not
Yes.
jousting. Okay,
Yes.
okay. We're going for overall beating.
Yeah, I think as
She's trying to smack, not Laz.
yeah, I think there's this moment where as Dr. Sharp turns and is kind of coughing and struggling to breathe, and this stuff is pouring out of every visible orifice, that he looks to you for help, and we see this fireplace poker just sort of levitate, and you just hear that classic whoosh sound. There's 2 thud sounds, one metallic, as the poker hits you upside the head, Sharp, and then your head bounces off the wall next to you. And you are I didn't think I was gonna have to use this, but here we are. Gotta find it. Here we go. Oh, it's kind of appropriate that you're still showing us injured. So I'm just going to leave that. You are injured, Dr. Sharp, as you're suffering a very bad effect, and you've just been struck upside the head. We're going to quickly scene switch to Ashley and Miss Adams, who I imagine, though it doesn't feel like a lot of time has passed, Miss Adams is... Ashley, of course you have in your office, you have a private bathroom, and she's wiping kind of at her hairline, getting the last of some blood out, and is changing into... quickly changes into a spare pantsuit that you had in the office.
I think while this is when Ashley is just sitting at her desk, bloody as fuck, smoking a cigarette, and she pours herself a little tumbler of brandy, and she's just sort of like staring into the middle distance as
I want you to roll a grit check.
Right. What's my minus?
It's only going to be a -1 right now.
Ah!
Did you roll a 1?
Damn it. Yeah, I don't want to kill Carly.
We're so good at this game.
So
no,
no. As Miss Adams is changing in the other room, we see you sitting at the desk with smoking this cigarette with a bloody hand. Actually, I imagine you're smoking the cigarette, but you're drinking from the tumbler, and it's the tumbler hand that's bloody.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we see this view of you sitting there, and then the camera does this sort of it's one of those shots that is like motion controlled, as the camera just pivots, and it pivots just 90 degrees, so that instead of looking right at you, we're seeing your desk, and sitting across from you at this desk, also smoking a cigarette and also drinking, in a mirror reflection of you, as if you were made entirely of smoke and shadow, is a figure.
Oh, what do they look like?
You?
Okay. And I think you see Ashley kind of like glance nervously at the little private bathroom where Carlene is. She doesn't like want to make a scene that she is seeing this. So she just kind of like quietly just like stares back at this thing, and she does reach over to take one more sip of her bourbon, and you see that her hand is shaking, like pretty noticeably.
This figure is mirroring your moves, but does not shake.
Ooh.
No amount of alcohol is going to stabilize your nerves. You're usually
Arlene, are you
stronger
almost
than
done?
this.
And I want to just see, like, I hear water running in there. I kind of ask that at a slightly, like, normal volume just to see if she can hear me. And if she doesn't respond, I keep talking to this.
I don't think she doesn't respond. We can
Okay,
kind of
perfect.
see over the shoulder of this shadow reflection. We can see that as she sort of steps out of frame in this bathroom, water's running, and we see the bloody clothes as they're dropped, and then we see her like grabbing the trash can and taking the plastic bag that's there and shoving the bloody clothes in there.
Okay.
So she's got her own scene happening in the background. She does
got
not
her
seem
own
aware.
shit. Got it. So what did he say? I'm sorry. What did it say?
It said, "I thought you were stronger than this."
Who says I'm not strong?
We're losing control.
Maybe that's not a bad thing. Certain people know when to keep their distance. Maybe that's a strength of ours and not a weakness.
Your hand's still shaking. You're not as confident as you pretend to be.
I sent a message
To who?
to anybody who would try to tell my secrets, to anybody who would challenge my authority, to anybody. Anybody.
You didn't send a message. You can never face what we have to do. You keep hiding in the shadow. I sent the message.
As far as they're concerned, I sent it. Thank you for your service. Is that what you need to hear?
You sent a message to a dead man with his own body. Who's getting the message? You want to send a message, you need to make sure that others are around to see it. We need them to be afraid.
And I think, ooh, villains. I think Ashley kind of like leans forward on her desk and sort of smiles when this thing says we need people to be afraid. And she just points into this private bathroom and raises her eyebrows, gesturing at Carlene.
As you do that, the camera sort of shifts for just a moment, like the focus shifts to focus in on what she's doing. Her back is turned as she's pulling on this spare pantsuit, and we see her kind of lift her leg as she slips on one of the shoes, and then there's a little bit of like a vignette around the view as the focus racks again, and we see the last of the shadow seeping into you as you are alone at your desk now, pointing at Miss Adams, and in your mind you hear your shadow symbiote say, "You will not take a back seat. Do it with your own hands now."
Oh.
The glass tumbler that you almost involuntarily pick up to take another drink involuntarily slams to the surface of the desk, spilling the last remnants of the liquor. Do it with your own hands now.
Oh God, no, I don't wanna do it. I'm not gonna, fuck it. I'm not gonna, fuck it, this thing. I'm not gonna do it.
Make
Fuck
a grit
it.
check.
Fuck.
This is a -3.
Oh, God damn it.
That was a 1, wasn't it?
Did you roll a 3 again? Are you
I
rolling?
rolled a 3.
You keep rolling with the
It's
minuses.
I know. I know. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then oh shit. Oh my
You
God.
feel
Okay, so I
yourself
think, yep.
start to recede back, and then you feel something forcing you and pushing you into the driver's seat. Now, it is my responsibility as the GM here to check in.
Yes, green light.
Are you okay with what you're being forced to do?
I don't like it, but like I'm not gonna have a breakdown. Green light.
Would you like to narrate it?
Yeah. So, oh man. So I think what the camera would probably see is Ashley just kind of stands up from her desk, and she has this tumbler in her glass, and I think she kind of looks at it and just sort of like pours what is left of the bourbon out, and then you kind of see her like checking the heft of it, and it's heavy enough, and then I think you just sort of see her like look at her desk one more time. And I think you even hear like Carlene like update from the bathroom like how close she is to being ready. And
I think she turns around as she says, "All right, we need to get you out of your bloody..."
And I'm just sort of standing there with this bourbon glass, and there are tears. And I think you just see the outside of the office where it says Director Ashley Raven. And you hear a thud. And then a like a clunk. And then you hear thud. Thud, thud, thud. And then nothing.
All right, back with the others.
I'm so sorry. I feel bad. Oh, damn it.
Back with
Fuck Craig and his fucking minuses. I said what I said.
Listen,
Cursed me.
even without his minuses, you rolled a 3.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have rolled a 3 if it hadn't been a -3. This is fate.
All right, test it. -5. What do you got?
16. See?
All right, we're back with the other gang. As I'm gonna need a grit check from Persephone. And what are what are you doing? Persephone just telekinetically struck. Okay. Go ahead and roll a d12 for me.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you just saw all of this happen with mercury leaking, getting struck in the head, blood now mixing with mercury. What are the two of you doing, if anything?
I look to Persephone for just a second, and then I look to Darla, and then I look to like basically the almost corpse of Devonshire. There's a part of me. There's a part of me.
Is there any indication as to why Persephone did this?
To your perception,
check, man.
to your perception, it came out of nowhere.
So, is like, does Devon look like he's dying?
You ever seen a head wound in a TV show or movie where at first it's like, oh, they're probably okay. The scene that comes to mind is when the marshal in Lost, when the case comes down and hits him in the head, and for a moment he's like, ugh, and then you just see blood just pouring from his hairline. Devon is dazed, and blood is literally pouring and mixing with mercury from this gash in his head.
All right, so dazed doesn't mean dead or dying to Darla. So if he just looks like he's dazed, I want to see if I can put myself between the poker and the body, even if it, like, I have to try and forcibly push it. And I want to give Persephone like just this stern look, like, what the hell are you doing?
For this,
when you first look at her, she looks feral.
Also,
She's looking at Devon feral, but then when you interpose yourself, she kind of blinks, and the poker falls.
And because of your failed grit check, and you rolled a 10 on the what did I call this table? This psychic something. Psychic flare. You are frozen in time. You are, for the moment, with the dropping of this, you become momentarily catatonic. You are locked in. You are immobilized in a stasis-like state. But there is a banshee-like wail emitting telepathically from you, which means everybody in this vicinity needs to make a grit check.
Oh, the audience might remember this whale from when she was in the tank previously.
All right. So, what is the lowest roll that's happened in this game so far? Do we know?
0.
Because I got a -1 from the psychic nonsense that's going on, and then werewolf shenaniganeries, I've got a -3.
I think
so a -4 to my 1. So
you know that scene in
-3 on
Scanners.
my grit roll.
You know that scene in Scanners right before their head explodes. Darla, you are knocked prone in agony from this psychic scream.
Awesome.
How did the other two of you fare?
Ooh, okay.
I
So I rolled a 5. Can I add pops to it though to raise it?
You can.
Okay. I don't know how many I would need to beat the DC for this though. So that's the
Well,
thing.
you gotta play the guessing game there, son.
Let's see. You know what? If we can, I'll just take a clean.
Here,
let's
I'll do
take a
this.
clean-
Tamiko, roll a d6.
Yes.
Oh.
Third party. Love it.
Interactive. All right. 2.
The DC you're trying to beat is 12.
12. Oh, gravy. That would mean I'd need to take.
You'd
like,
have to spend 7 pops. You have 46.
I know we have 46. I just feel that's greedy for my. That's a little greedy for me to do that. So.
Tell you what, Chadley.
Yeah.
I'll buy you 5 right now.
My bitch. Let's
Nico,
go. Way to
that's-
fucking be.
Well, then,
God, you're
damn
a
it, fine.
badass.
I will spend the 7 pops. Then.
All right, let me do
I
some
will
math
spend
here.
the 7
So,
pops. So we're gonna get 5, and then
let's put you at 51, and you're going to
Let's put
spend the
this
7 to match, or are you going to spend 8 to beat?
I'm gonna
No,
spend.
sorry, you weren't talking about.
I'll spend 8 to beat because I don't know what kind of consequences
So
I'll
that's-
end up getting.
46 minus 3.
So you're only spending 3 pops.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I just got to find my pops bonus button. Boom. So, yeah, that puts us at...
Least I could do for trying to kill you, homie.
I was about to say the violence is in the wrong door. No, wrong door. Go the other way.
Okay. So somehow Dr. K is able to, you're able to mentally shield yourself from this this psychic scream. It's almost like Darla goes down immediately. Dr. Sharp is in a very bad way. I will say though, with the blood leaking out of your head, Sharp, the mercury like substance seems to be abating, but you are still injured. But with all of that, Dr. K, it's almost like you're in this psychic storm that's buffeting you for a moment, and then it passes.
Okay. Lots to do.
And I will say, Ashley, you are not affected by it, but you hear this psychic scream from back in the direction where you left the others.
In this moment, I look to Darla, who's now almost incapacitated on the ground. Devin, who's incapacitated. Carlene's nowhere to be found. Ashley's nowhere to be found. So the only person that he feels like he can talk to in this moment is Persephone, even though she seems to be locked in place. And I imagine you said Dr. Templeton is also in the room.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there quietly. He's nervous.
Hey Doc. Or would you
Actually,
mind helping me with any
hold
of
on,
this?
because we didn't hear from Sharp on how he did versus the psychic scream.
Okay.
So I do not remember what my minuses are, but I rolled a 2.
Not quite as bad as Ted's -4.
Pretty bad.
But yeah, the psychic scream is going to affect you in a very bad way. I need to fix something. Thank you, whoever said that in the chat, Carrie. As
You're welcome. I like to maintain control over these things.
Carlene is currently dead or dying. Well, she's dead. Let's face it. Let me check. Dr. Sharp, you are now critical. As this sudden influx of everything, physical and psychic and quantum damage that you're taking, what is going through your mind right now?
Is that to Devin or to all of us?
This is specifically to Devin.
Okay.
I think what's going through his mind is that this is impossible. That this is not the way that this is supposed to happen. He needs to get himself to Project Morpheus so that he can enact his failsafe. And even if he doesn't really have much power to do so, that's probably what he's going to be trying to attempt.
So I imagine that kind of looks like a very injured, bloody, dazed Dr. Sharp starting to crawl his way towards the exit of this room. So, yeah, Darla, what are you doing as you're recovering from...
So this scream that pushed me back and that basically knocked me to the ground, do I know like that was from Persephone?
I feel like you do, in part because it in your mind sounds like Persephone, but also you kind of already know that Persephone being a part of this sort of inner circle is sort of like somebody being in a trustee position. She's always been an inmate that's been given extra privileges in your mind. So yeah, you absolutely know that it's her.
So I feel like since she kind of like stormed out of her office, she's been like slowly just thin, like tissue tissue thin layers being peeled back of her self-control. She's been pushed against a wall. She's been thrown to the ground, and I think this is like the final straw. Like she was already on thin amount of control from the changing of the moon. So like I think she wolfs out and she begins stalking towards Persephone.
Okay. As Darla begins to stalk forward, I'm gonna grab Persephone's hand. In that moment, I'm hoping that through just the sheer act of being able to control time, that will unfreeze her in that state. And then I'm gonna look at Persephone and go, I saw everything you saw. You were the only person in this room that I trust at this moment. So, do you want to live? Do you want to see your child? Because if that is something that you want to do, I will make it happen.
I'm going to cut you off there because that's an oil can. That's I think at this point you are coming out of this locked in state, but also that's about as much words as you're going to get out with a full ass werewolf stalking towards her at this moment. I'm going to add into the mix that as Devin Sharp is crawling, and I'm going to say that Dr. Templeton is passed out in the corner. Either he fainted or he got
just so scared.
He just couldn't handle what was happening.
He had a big lunch.
He's swooned at the werewolf. He's like, oh.
But at the moment that this is happening and the wolf is stalking towards now the two of you, we see in the hallway as Sharp, you sort of pull a hand out and sort of drag yourself into the hallway as Ashley Raven is walking towards you down the hallway back towards this room with a new toy in hand or in pocket.
I have this phone in pocket.
Icon device.
I have this in my left hand, and my right hand appears to have lots of like lacerations, like I don't know, broken glass on it. And basically I want to come around this corner and I kind of take in this scene, and I see that Darla has wolfed out, and I just like, oh, so this is what we're doing. And I think I want to try the memory extraction feature. Can I hit the memory extraction button? Actually, it's like my first thought was to use that psychic inhibitor, but I don't think Persephone needs to do me harm. with her powers?
You can absolutely hit the icon for memory extraction.
I would like to do that.
And you're targeting.
I want to target Darla. I want to pull a specific.
So you tap the
memory.
button on the memory extraction device, and you see a couple buttons. One of which says scan. One of which says extract. And then there's a whole other set of buttons below that have things like playback features, like fast forward, rewind, etc.
I want to do a playback feature on a specific memory of Darla's and mine. Can I?
You can't play back something if you haven't yet scanned it. You have to, looking at this.
Okay.
It's a pretty base assumption that. Basically, I'll say this: the playback buttons are grayed out.
I'm a smart cookie. I could figure it out.
The playback buttons are grayed out. You would have to first scan the subject, and then extract memories from them.
Okay.
This doesn't let you just target somebody and press play and play memories.
Okay.
You don't even know
So
what
I
those
guess-
memories are. Well, you do.
I know this one. I would scan Darla with this thing.
Okay. Darla, while Ashley comes in and presses, I imagine just stepping over the crawling, bloody Devon Sharp.
And this is so perfect in its irony because Devon always bitched that Ashley wasn't taking control, and my God, is she ever right
you
now?
press the button, and this sort of bluish light sort of comes out in this very Tron effect as grid lines outline the wolf form of Darla. Darla, I've got to give you an opportunity to strike, because people are talking, people are scanning. Darla, what are you doing?
I'm going after Persephone.
Go ahead and make a fight versus Braun.
Fight?
Yeah.
My Braun?
Yep, you're Braun.
But I'm still frozen, right?
No, you are just starting to come out of that.
Oh, okay. I've got a fighting chance. No, I don't. That's a 2.
Hey. Oh, okay. Damn.
9.
So, again, in this game, the dice rolls are not like blow for blow. It's sort of the narrative outcome of the event. I don't know where it is in the second edition, so I'm going to go to my version in first edition, which tells me the spread. So that's a spread of 7. Narrative control. The attacker explains their attack, and the defender explains how they respond. The attacker can alter any of these details as the defender explains them. Then the attacker explains how this response fails to prevent harm. Wait, that doesn't make sense. This is going to end. Basically, you both get to contribute to this outcome of this fight, if you will. During which time Ashley is scanning and then attempting to extract. Darla gets the upper hand. Persephone will end up severely injured, but not dead.
All right. So, as a little bit of a stalking scene, Darla gets up, and in the process of just getting to her feet, the whole werewolf transformation. I love the way they did it in Underworld. I kind of view it that way. And as her canine features take over, the scene kind of lights up with more scents and smells. I hear the whimpering of Devon crawling away, and I take the time to even look down and see. I could just going off him, but he's not the focus right now. So it's a casual stride over. The slow motions of Dr. K trying to intercede is almost laughable as, you know, she continues her strides towards Persephone. Casually down the hall, you know, Ashley lifts something and points it in my direction, but I have no idea what it is, and at the moment, I don't care.
You're about to, bitch.
Oh, that's fine. Like, the great part about this is
God
I have
bless.
no care about what happens to Darla.
You and I have both played Darla. We are her. Let's go.
So I look and you know, there's a moment as I consider, like, do I bite Persephone? And I, as Ted, don't know what the stigma is in this world to know whether werewolf bites or dogman bites spread the disease or not. But
You're gonna give me dogman?
Yes. Dogman rabies.
but Darla decides against it, and you know, whether it be like that's too good of a fate, or whether, you know, it's like I don't want to bite her. She just kind of stalks forward and brings up her long extended arm and just comes down with a slash. One claw catching your face, the other claw is like sinking into your chest. As I just tear open a savage wound across you.
Just before you strike, Persephone's just finally finding her place back in time. And she looks up confused. What? And then you strike. And the force of the strike probably pushes her back, and she probably falls into fucking Dr. K. Like, at this point. And what is it? And she just looks up at you, Dr. K, and she says, if I don't make it, find Rosie, protect her.
I ain't gonna let that happen to you. And he starts actually like carrying you backwards. He's gonna like try to like hook his arms up underneath your arms, and then like push his way out the double doors of the office.
I'm so sorry.
Well-
You're green. I don't know why I attacked you.
That's
You're
Dr. K's on the floor there.
Yep.
Or sorry, not Dr. K. There I screwed somebody up.
It's all good.
Hey.
Dr. Sharp is sort of blocking the doorway.
Oh, blocking the doorway?
as
Okay.
he's
Well, if
crawling
blocking-
out a bloody mess.
Okay. If he's blocking the doorway, I think I would like catch Persephone in my arms, but like seeing this, I look down, and then there's this moment where I have Persephone in the arms. I look down at the bloody mess Devon Sharp trying to worm his way out of the door, and then I look over to Ashley, who is also a bloody mess, who has a like something in her hand, and you're looking like you got this visage on your face that just screams like you're ready to do some damage. And I go, you trusted me to fix this, right?
I don't know if Ashley's even paying attention, because at this point you probably would have hit the extract button.
No, I've hit the extract, and I'm getting ready to play this back to traumatize my enemies.
Okay.
The lemurs are in the corner trying to shake Dr.
Danger,
Templeton away.
danger, danger,
Danger, no, danger.
danger. Hide, must hide. I feel
Meanwhile,
so bad for them.
While all of this is happening, nobody's really noticing that another quantum destabilization event has happened. As where Persephone dropped the fireplace poker, a small portal opened up beneath it, and it just went. It kind of goes like this because it forms along the length of it, so it kind of goes and teeters, and the poker part of it goes first, and it just slips through a portal.
Like the Titanic.
Yeah, a lot like the Titanic, or maybe even the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh my God! Well, we don't know what happened to the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well,
it might have split up. It might have capsized. It may have broke deep.
Regardless, it sinks into this portal in the floor as another portal opens in the ceiling in the hallway. And the last thing you see, Dr. Sharp, is this portal opening above your head and the fireplace poker going sink and sinking in to your forehead. Carrie just stepped away. I was about to throw it to Carrie for the memory bit. I do want to add in Persephone. There's a flash of memory that happens as Darla wolfs out. For a moment, I picture this 360-degree rotation of camera as we see Darla turn into this wolf. The camera and start advancing towards you. The camera moves around behind the wolf form of Darla, and as it comes out the other side, we see Billy standing there with a wolf hand in the cave with the crystals and the portal and the machines. And the camera moves around, and we see from your point of view as little Sophie in 1855 on the island. And it moves around, and we see all of the others around you. And as the camera moves around behind you, and we see you in this moment in the cave, it's Persephone perceiving all of these things that she saw as Sophie. And for a moment, Sophie is in the lab in 1975. And as the camera moves back around behind Darla, the whole scene plays out with the attack. And the fireplace poker drops from the ceiling through the portal and kills Dr. Sharp. And
Poetic.
Dr. K is dragging Persephone out of the room as Ashley presses play on the memory she extracted. Ashley Raven, what memory did you extract, and are you playing?
Okay, I extracted the memory of MTD. Just kidding. But I did extract the memory of the barn and the massacre. And all of Darla's friends dying around her at my hand. And her not being able to do a goddamn thing about it, despite grabbing a shovel.
And I think what we see from Darla's point of view is, in wolf form, Darla, momentarily you are back in that barn in 1955 as a teenager. And
who bullied Ashley Raven, by the way? A big old bully, I will have you know. Okay.
You're in the midst of all of your friends being murdered by Ashley while you're being left alive. And you're knowing, with new knowledge we have about Darla, in this memory that I imagine Ashley just sort of keeps playing it and then restarting it and restarting it.
This is a pretty high tech facility. Would it be fair to say there's like connectable TVs in this hallway or no?
We've never established televisions in the hallway, but probably in Persephone's office there's some computer monitors.
Okay, never mind. If it's possible, I want things playing loudly and on all the screens, all the time.
Little TV with rabbit.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think-
like this is where we learn about casting
But,
via the icon.
But also, I think in your mind, Darla,
Yep.
you know, at 15 years old in 1955, you know that you know of your family's condition, curse, abilities, whatever you call it. But you also know that part of why you were never able to defend yourself or take any action against the teenage Ashley Raven was because you had not yet manifested your wolf abilities.
Right. So
And it's
while she's showing me this, I feel like that was some time ago and I am not the same person. And the fact that she's trying to throw it in my face now, I'm going to throw it in hers. So I will absolutely spring at her.
Well,
Oh.
unfortunately, this is the part that you don't know, but you now do know. So, using the memory extraction, it reads and stores snippets of memory from living beings. The process is disorienting.
Okay.
You are not fully yourself, so you will have to attempt to break free of this replay feature.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be a grit check.
All right.
I want to break free. Jeremy,
Amazing.
classic ref.
All right. So that's an explosion.
Ooh.
All right. So minus the 1 from the psychic. That puts me at a 14.
This has been a historic bingo night.
So what'd you end up with your total?
14.
I think what we see is in the memory. We see the teenage Darla who hasn't yet got her powers. Almost as an overlay, we see Darla Stapler, who is old enough to have full control of her abilities, except under the force change of a full moon. But we see that memory sort of distorting, and it's almost looking like when film gets a little stuck in the projector and it starts to get burned and it starts to melt in places, as we see Darla the werewolf overlaying the memory, and we see in this room as Darla Stapler sort of rising and fighting against this force and pushing and beginning to move toward you, Ashley. Unfortunately, 14 is not enough.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is,
Let me break you.
with this scene, sort of the camera pulling out of this room past the dead Dr. Sharp, we see Ashley maintaining control against this struggling wolf form, and Dr. K and Persephone escaping, maybe going somewhere else.
Most likely.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you between now and the next session figure out,
Okay.
Ashley, how you're gonna control Darla and subdue her, and Dr. K and Persephone where you go.
Okay.
But as the camera recedes down the hall, it goes all the way to Ashley Raven's office, where we see
We
a couple bloody footsteps, and we just see a pool of blood and a single hand kind of on the floor out the door. The screen fades to black, and then we see the words sometime later or later that night, whatever.
A few
And
hours later.
we see that the first thing we see is just the sort of bright light of fluorescent overhead lighting. And you hear that sort of like a
Buzzing.
ping, sort of king, zzz. And then the camera slowly pans down, and we see stainless. We see these sort of medical green walls, stainless steel furniture, and the camera continues to pan down, and we see 2 stainless steel tables with the dead bodies of Carlene Adams and Dr. Devin Sharp side by side. They've got the sheet pulled up. They do not have the Y incisions on them. The fireplace poker has been extracted from Dr. Sharp and is lying on a table nearby. And
Sorry.
we see both Dr. Sharp and Carlene Adams' eyes flick open. And Lazarus Eccles, you are staring up at overhead lighting with no idea where you are or how you got here. When you look to the side, you see
Jessica.
Miss Adams, but the eyes that are looking at you, confused and maybe scared, are the eyes of Jessica Smith. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh man!
Wow.
Let's fucking go, dude.
So, a couple things. One, I talked to M, told M that this was a likely outcome. M was very.
For the record, I talked to M too and preemptively apologized.
M was very disappointed that they were going to miss the game, but was very on board for what was happening. It's very rare that I will intentionally try to kill someone, but I introduced a lot of chaos. I was leaving it open for you to kill each other, which came close. Also, full disclosure, I may have texted each and every one of you and said that nobody has plot armor.
You
Yeah, I
motherfucker.
was like,
You
what?
built this in.
I texted every one of you and told you something different, but I basically
I
said,
thought I was special.
I said, go for it. Nobody has plot. The one consistent line in all of your messages was, no one has
Nobody
plot armor.
Plot armor.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Because I wanted to see what you guys would do.
You crafty bastard.
This was
Diabolical.
so,
Incredible.
and I have to ask on the Sophie reveal, did anybody have any inkling up until this
Yes.
moment?
It occurred in
Tamiko.
the chat earlier
totally.
No,
tonight.
no. Before tonight's game.
Oh, before tonight's game.
Oh,
Ever since
Not
the
at all.
appearance of Sophie. Because if you all remember, there was one moment where I accidentally referred to Sophie as Persephone.
Yes.
And I played it
Nope.
off
Yep.
as being confused.
And that's exactly
well,
what I thought.
and
I didn't
the
put two or two
names
together
are
at the
almost
time,
the same.
but I was
So
like, oh.
like the PH.
If you could
the
have
S.
seen Craig texting me going,
Put
wow,
your
that was a
hand down,
close one.
Craig. You're privy to information.
You're an inside man.
Fair.
You're
Yeah,
an inside
Craig-
man.
But also, like, it's not unusual at all for there to be like a transposition of names between characters.
What, are you saying that I
I
have
mean, you've been doing it for years.
You're saying that I have a propensity to
Years.
screw up names?
I mean,
That's why I knew I was probably
maybe
okay.
It's a bingo square.
Right.
That's why I knew I was probably okay. But Craig and I often talked about it, and I wondered, and I didn't get any sense. You guys weren't chattering in our side chat at all. that you had any inkling that the two were the same person.
It came up once, and then somebody quipped, "That would make Coop Rosie's uncle."
Yep.
Oh,
True.
yeah. Wow.
Wait
Shit.
until you find out how Laz and Rosie are related. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
This is turning into some real Game of
Whoa,
Thrones.
now.
Well,
Dude.
at this
No.
point, it's probably more like Star Wars.
I
tell you
mean,
what,
at this
man.
point, if Dr. K
Somehow I've
isn't
always
his own
known.
grandpa, I don't know what to say.
Dr. K is his own grandpa legally. He has paperwork.
He's got paperwork to prove it.
He did witness his own birth.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the doctor who delivered myself. Like, you can't
Yep.
make that up.
Yep.
bro.
So
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on now.
I will
Now
say
it-
this. There was a moment near the end where I had messaged Jeremy because there were so many things going on. I had to like parse who am I saving, what am I doing, and there was a moment where I messaged Jeremy being like, hey, when this scene ends, if there's opportunity for Oak to kill Dr. Sharp, are we good? Can I do that? And he said absolutely yes. I didn't expect the portal to drop the poker through his head.
Can I real quick just point out how good of a like taking care of each other team we are, Jake? I really appreciated you checking in with the whole like, are we cool with like what we're gonna do here? Like,
You're
dude,
here.
it's great. It's great, man. Awesome.
In that moment, I realized I was putting you on the spot to have to murder, but I had contingencies that the shadow could take over, and also you handled the scene almost identical to how I would have, rather
Almost like you've been
than
playing together
rather
for
than
5 years.
viscerally show the murder. It has I think it has more impact to pull the camera away and do it exactly how you did it. So
Yep. Well, Carlene felt the impact, all right.
yeah.
God bless.
But that now introduces this. You guys, I think one of you said something about, I think this might be our last time in the Nexus project. Nope. There's been a couple reveals you guys haven't touched on. There's a lot of things that are being brought full circle, like the icon device and certain memories and things like that. But also now we've got a little bit of a Freaky Friday situation with Jessica and Laz in two bodies that are supposed to be dead. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens next session.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it for Quantum Destabilization and Other Minor Inconveniences. Boy, was that a loaded title.
That was amazing.
I want to first just remind everybody, if you're watching with us now live, tune in tomorrow night to Nerdarchy YouTube channel to see me and Ted and some other amazing people as we play our D&D Old Guard game. Also, I'll just bring it up for a quick second. Head over to Steam, check out Where's That Clown. The game is free, developed by my son and his friends. I almost said by my friend and his sons. That'd be weird.
Well, yeah.
By my son and his friends. This free-to-play game is the first official release from Hivemind Labs, the video game company that my son co-founded with his friends. So please do check that out. Available on Steam for free. Thank you to everybody. Of course, thank you to Tamiko and Carrie for contributing to the mayhem and supporting the use of domain pops by not just spending the 40 plus that you have, just keeping that total up there in the 40s. Very apropos for the Thursday night game to keep your numbers high and never let them get low.
Never let him get low.
Spend them, but don't spend too much. But yeah, thank you for that. And of course, thank you to everybody hanging out in the chat and all the activity going on there. I always like seeing that. If you're somebody that likes to lurk quietly in the background, or you're watching with us on the VOD, I know that we appreciate you and hope you are enjoying our presentation as well. And of course, the biggest, hugest thank you to these incredible players and friends of mine who trust me so intrinsically and have extended that trust to Craig, who I meet with every week, and we contemplate your doom. Just, I love getting to play with people who are such amazing role players, who buy into the story without hesitation, and you don't even bother putting your seatbelt on. You just go wherever this crazy car is going. You're like, yeah. We're going to 1975, and we're now the Nexus Project people. Sure.
Let's go.
This Tyler Durden, take the wheel. I love it. This, I wish you. I can't wait until you can see some of the things that are coming. As we continue this game, when it started, I never would have imagined it would end up where it is now. So thank you to each and every one of you for what you add to this, and your own brand of chaos. I look forward every week to getting together with you guys. So one thing I forgot to mention before I do my final thank you and outro is a reminder that we will be playing for the next I think there's only 4 weeks in June. 4 weeks. MTD is taking July off for summer hiatus, so there won't be any streaming games in July, so keep that in mind. But we still got 4 more weeks at least of getting together for this mayhem. So thank you as always to Chad, Tamiko, Carrie, Ted, Jeremy, and though they weren't with us tonight, they were with us in spirit, truly in spirit, with the fate of their character.
Shut up, dude.
Without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're gonna say thank you to formerly known as Emily for the last minute raid. As we head out of here.
Great to see you, Emily. We're done.
Somebody throw a shout out to formerly known as Emily, please. But we're gonna end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Bye bye.
Feminism.
Bye bye.